Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ESL India Premiership Season number 1. Of course, it's the Starter Cup number 4. I mean, Season 1, say what you want, but the Starter Cup, those are what really matters. And this is, of course, Tea Time bringing to you the stream while Nishant is actually kidnapped. And if you guys are wondering why this random person keeps coming in on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, well, let's just say Nishant didn't make the cut, and Nishant had to be cut. It's points like that where I wish I had a bit of a soundboard or something like that where I could just have a dun 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 in the background, but you know, regardless, Nishant, he's not going to be able to make it today. As usual, I'm going to be the one to replace him. This is, of course, ESL Tea Time, not just Tea Time now. I feel pretty proud of myself being able to put that ESL tag behind there. I mean, it's definitely something that I've been working towards for a very, very long time. However, enough about me, more about the lovely game that we've got waiting for us. And I'm actually quite hopeful about this because I've been casting quite a few games so far where teams are kind of deviating from the international metagame and they're going for these wonky little picks that I do respect the fact that at an amateur level you do want to go for whatever you're comfortable with as well, but it's obvious that the international picks are the best heroes to go for. The Mirana early on, the Slardars, the Faceless Voids, and the Sand King. You know, I like these bans coming through, I like the picks coming out already. Of course, we could still be seeing something wonky come out of either team. We could still see a Tinker or a Techies. Well, Tinker is a little more orthodox than a Techies, at least. A Techies, a Wraith King, you never even know. It's a support CK coming out of nowhere. I would actually like to see a support CK. It's not even that bad, but enough about that. It's about the current draft. It's about what's already been picked up, not what's going to be picked up later on. Now, Troll2Win, they go for a Slardar, and I'm interested to see whether they go for the old school Liquid build, where Liquid really liked running this Slardar plus Disruptor, of course. Okay, that's what they're going for. Now, Liquid, back at the Manila Major, they really liked doing this, where they went for the Slardar for Mind Control and the Disruptor for Jarax. And how this works is because Slardar is able to give such good vision. With this amplified damage, the Disruptor can always get out a glimpse onto a key target because of that vision. And that can really be a game changer. If you're able to get a pick off because of that, that's absolutely ridiculous. And Troll2Win, I like this from them. They ban out the Kunkka, recognizing that there's already a Shadow Demon plus Mirana combination that's already a pretty decent matchup. That's a pretty decent combination to be able to set up some arrows, to be able to set up some things all around the map. But with the Kunkka coming through as well, that could have been an absolute catastrophe for the side of Troll2Win. I mean, Shadow Demon plus Kunkka roaming around along with the Mirana arrow. I mean, the setup is absolutely insane and would be able to basically pick apart any hero on the map. But Troll2Win, we'll have to wait and see if they go for something else to actually pair up with their Slardar, their Disruptor. I would quite like to see something like an Elder Titan coming out. It's quite good with the Slardar because the minus armor does synergize fairly well. The Terrorblade does get banned out though, so I'm guessing they're not going for the full minus armor strategy. The Elder Titan, of course, is very, very effective against Terrorblade, being able to take away all of his base armor. It's generally very effective against heroes like the Terrorblade, heroes like the Morphling, who are very highly reliant on their high base armor due to them being agility heroes. But the Invoker is what ends up getting banned out from the Radiant side, so it doesn't look like they want to go for any of those heroes. Doesn't really look like they're scared of the Elder Titan. They could, of course, pick that up themselves. The Shadow Demon plus Elder Titan combination is pretty sweet as well, so we'll just have to wait and see exactly how this is. But, you know, we have to keep in mind, we're assuming so far that this is going to be a core Mirana, probably in the 2 position, but for all we know, it could even be a jungling 4 position Mirana. Not really something that we can be too sure about. However, Troll2Win, they've got plenty of time to actually switch up their lane somewhat. They've got plenty of time to go for some shenanigans themselves, and they've definitely got the capability of doing so. They can put that Slardar in the safe lane, they can put him in the off lane, the Disruptor, although it's probably something that I will never be able to see in my lifetime. I've played the Disruptor mid a few times, you know, just saying. I'm a pretty good player. I'm 3.4k. I'm probably being called out by chat that, you know, we just saw your MMR on the stream. It's literally 3k. What are you talking about? But no, you know, don't worry about that. Worry about Nishant's MMR. Nishant's actually 5k. Would you believe it? Nishant doesn't cost like a 5k. The first time I heard him cost, I was like, this guy's max like 4.8. Now, but you know, all respect to Nishant, of course. But Juggernaut being the pickup from Troll2Win. It's gonna be it's gonna be very good at actually putting siege to towers. And although I'm normally very skeptical of a Juggernaut because he doesn't seem to provide that much damage, with an offlaner like the Slardar, with the amplified damage being there, that's really the steer that Juggernaut needs to be able to fight on par with other carries. However, I would still like to see some more steroids coming out from the Juggernaut. I would really like to see the Ogre Magi being picked up over here. However, Radiant, they've still got quite a few picks to decide what they want to go for. They could go for the Ogre themselves and pair that up with a Lone Druid or something of the like. I actually quite like the Lone Druid. It's very good matchup against the Juggernaut as well. It can be paired up pretty well with something like the Ogre Magi in a dual lane, off lane, and does get pretty annoying to deal with on the side of Troll2Win. But Troll, the question is, what do they want to go for their middle over here? I think a puck could definitely be viable. It's a good setup for multiple crushes coming through, for a good static storm kinetic field. Juggernaut able to do a lot of damage with his spin as well, with the good dream coil. So a puck could very easily be a great pickup for the side of Troll2Win, or just any bursty hero like that that's able to quickly, along with the Slardar, that's able to blink on someone, get a couple of spells out, quickly burst someone down. The puck, the Queen of Pain, the Storm Spirit even being a pretty viable contenders for that position. Of course, for all we know, they could go for something more farming oriented. The Alchemist is already banned out, but I think the Radiant side wouldn't really mind going for a Naga Siren. It's got great synergy with the Shadow Demon, it's got great synergy with the Mirana as well, being able to set up a perfect arrow from the sleep. It's definitely a possibility that Troll2Win have got to be keeping in mind for themselves right now. And if the Naga Siren does get picked up, boy oh boy, this Juggernaut is going to have a very rough time. Slardar is decent against the Naga, being able to give some good, being able to give a good ability to actually clear down the creep, clear down the illusions. But the Pathfinder will be picked up from the Radiant side. Troll2Win, I would really like to see an Oracle coming out from them right now. It would completely counteract the Batrider. They already have a Disruptor as well. The Static Storm can be very good against the Batrider, which is why I didn't talk about it so far, which is why I thought it wouldn't actually come through. But right now, Troll2Win, again, it just seems to me like if they're able to pick up an Oracle and a good burst damage hero for the mid lane, that is going to be a complete game changer. That will completely negate the Batrider's effectability, and that will completely put the Radiant side in a position where they're forced to act as soon as possible, where they're forced to go for these pickoffs, where they're forced to put themselves out of their own comfort zone. But the question is, what do Troll2Win go for? The Oracle's the obvious pickup, but for all they know, okay, they're actually going to go for their mid laner first, and it's a hero that didn't actually come to my mind early on, but they do go for the Zeus pickup. And I find this very interesting, mostly because it's not a hero we're used to seeing. I mean, maybe in conjunction with the Slark, I could kind of understand a wonky little D-word strategy. But beyond that, Zeus seems to be a hero who's a bit too immobile in this era of roaming 4 positions, where the Elder Titan reigns supreme, where the Riki is so good, where the Bounty Hunters are occasional. But it will be the Radiant side who actually go for the puck, not the Dire side. So Troll2Win, they're going to be fighting up against some little bit of extra team fight. There's not that much synergy, and I think so far they're kind of lacking the oomph to actually have a safe lane 1 position, and they might be forced to go for something that synergizes well with the Shadow Demon, something, and put that Mirana into that 4 position jungling role, which we do so often see. But the Dazzle is what gets banned out. I think Troll2Win are really not understanding the situation. Radiant desperately needs some more right-click damage, just some more damage in general. Maybe something like, because the Terrorblade is banned out. See, I would like to say a Morphling, but I feel like Troll2Win can just go very easily for that Elder Titan. The Ogre Magi gets banned out, but Elder Titan is still in the pool for the side of Troll. And if they go for a high armor hero like the Morphling, then Troll2Win should actually be able to counter that out very easily. So probably not the Morphling going to be coming out from the side of Eternalsobers, but what can it really be? Troll2Win. I mean, something that doesn't get countered out too heavily by the Elder Titan. I personally can't think of anything that synergizes particularly well with Shadow Demon, to be perfectly honest. Luna maybe. Luna's okay, but she's pretty bad against the Zeus because of the high burst damage. The Elder Titan Natural Order will just magnify the Zeus's damage. And they end up going for the Morphling. I don't think this is the right pickup. And I would be very surprised if the Elder Titan does not come through. We'll have to wait and see though. Troll2Win, they're definitely taking their time to think about this. But what's it? Okay, yeah, see, that's what I talked about. The Elder Titan has immediately been picked up. They've got absolutely no way of dealing with this. And I've got to say, the drafting wise, it does come out through a very heavy. Oh, oopsie, my PC lagged out a little bit. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. But drafting wise, it should actually come to. It should actually come towards dire side drafting victory, but it will be blood on the Morphling going straight into the introductions, because we can talk about the match. We can talk about the lineups a little bit more later on. It's actually the Radiant side going for an interesting decision to go for the top rune, which is normally what the dire side are able to get for themselves. Contesting the runes probably not a great idea, because the level 1 of the dire side is very strong right now. They're split up though, so maybe Morphling and Co are able to get a quick pick off onto someone and back themselves off, but it does look like they will be convening at the top rune with the Elder Titan making his way there. AK is not though, so it will be a 4v5 if there is a level 1 engagement, so the advantage should go towards the Radiant squad. They're smoking up right now. Prey-M is probably going to go for the quick wraparound, maybe try to get himself into a position where he can get out an arrow onto his Shadow Demon disruption target. Ghost is going to go through, he's going to be caught in the disruption, the arrow will go out, but it won't connect onto anyone. The arrow coming out a little bit later will connect onto Silky Johnson on the Zeus, but not before Ghost gets the first blood immediately. Insane Hero, he's turned around, he's going onto Ghost, he should be able to get the skill actually, but the Puck actually orbing himself away, probably not the best of decisions. Morphling waveforms himself over towards the high ground. It's going to be Zeus in the back line, who's taking quite a bit of damage, but Zeus is able to get a kill onto is able to get a kill onto Prey-M on the Mirana, and Ghost, who's still being pursued up, will have the waveform come out on top of him. Morphling getting that kill, so early on Troll2Win getting the advantage in that level 1 engagement, despite AK being on that bottom lane, getting up some free experience, getting up some free levels as well, some free last hits as well. Professor Chaos missing on the kinetic field shouldn't really matter too much, because Ghost should be able to make his way down with the boots first that he did go for Maybe he went boots first, then got the stout shield with the level 1 gold. I'm not sure, with the first blood gold, he definitely had the capability of doing that. But in the meanwhile, at least you've got the Mirana, who's getting up some levels. She's got her level 2 already. She should actually be able to go for a quick level 3 maybe. Morphling does not really have that much mana, does not really have the waveform. Okay, so she's gonna get the level 2.5 by the time the Morphling comes over and starts taking some last hits and some experience. So she's gonna be very happy with that. Will have her jungle farm accelerated a little bit as well. That's what she wanted to go into. Professor Chaos is going to go forward, kind of just zone Reddick out by his presence alone, not really able to throw out any damage. So Reddick so far is doing a good job in the mid lane. The last hits wise, he's sitting in a bit of a lead. Surprisingly though, the Puck did not go for a magic stick. Against the Zeus, you normally do see them coming out. He went for the double fairy fire instead of going for the magic stick, and obviously the null talisman plus magic stick is not really a build that's possible. Saint here on the top lane, bring out some sticky napalm charges. Could maybe try to force a spin out and put the Juggernaut into a position where he's fearing for his life, but doesn't look like that's going to come through. Saint Hero wants to be careful with that. Professor Chaos, he has revealed the fact that he has a kinetic field though, so maybe he recognizes that there's no glimpse and he goes for a TP play where he tries to TP himself out and force out the Juggernaut spin. While doing so, Ghost though, he's not falling for anything. He's just keeping himself safe. He's missing a couple of last hits here and there, which is why he's not really sitting too high on the last hits category. I mean, 8 last hits, 2.5 minutes in is not really very impressive. Bad Boy though, I'm looking to see when he and Mirana maybe looking to get a quick pick off onto the Shadow Demon with the Puck being there as well. Top lane, they're going on to Saint Hero, but he's able to get himself out. The kinetic field will not come through in time, and that will be the Puck who's actually wasted quite a bit of time, and that does give away a lot of the advantage that he got early on. He's been loitering around at the bot rune for about a full minute at this point. We got there at 2-minute mark, and although his last hits are the same as the Zeus, this is a Puck that's a full level behind, and the DD rune will only do so much in bringing him back on par in terms of experience. And so far, it is still blood on the Morphling, who's level 2, starved for experience, not doing that great in terms of last hit. Surprisingly enough, he's not the one against the Batrider, that's Juggernaut. So Juggernaut still has a bit of an excuse to why he doesn't have that many last hits, but Morphling, he's purely been missing these last hits at this bot lane. And Slardar must be playing this absolutely phenomenally if this is the amount that he's able to get for himself, being able to draw the creep wave back in his favor as well. And now this creep wave will be pushing in unless Morphling's able to get some good... Okay, now Mirana uses the arrow. She gets the last hit on the range creep. So I suppose you've got to say as well that Morphling is having a few of his supports taking last hits away from him. Relax Isoc with his movement speed advantage. She has the boots, but the 4 sticky napalm charges does mean that the Batrider is considerably faster than him, despite the low base movement speed on the Bat. Redix, he's still sitting very far behind the Zeus in terms of experience though. If you look over to where Zeus will get level 6 around the time where Reddick is about 5.5 or so if he keeps going at this rate. This rotation though, this might change things a bit. There's a haste rune on Bad Boy, and Bad Boy wants to go in for the disruption into arrow combination. He's not going to throw out any shadow poison just quite yet. Silky Johnson will have the arrow to his face, but he's going to turn around, get out some damage onto Prayam as well. And with the TP coming through from Relax, if he's able to eat that mango and go for another spirit, then maybe it's a kill to come through, but doesn't look like that will be the case. Reddick phase shifts out of the Elder Titan Stomp, and that will be all she wrote. Relax Isoc using a TP and a mango for that rotation. A lot of investment going out into it. Sneezes, man, sneezes. I've got that hay fever, boys. What can you really do about that, though? Saint Blood. Still, though, Eternalsobers, they're not looking to be in that dominant position. Puck is still not able to get all that much out of this. Silky Johnson is actually still very far ahead in terms of experience. Puck is 5.5, and that's when Silky is getting that level 6 already. So maybe now they can finally go into the Batrider with the Thunder God's Wrath being available, bring him down a couple of times. Let the Zeus get the last hit onto that, really jumpstart his farm a bit. Get him closer towards that Bloodstone if that's what he's going for. Aetherland's normally the pickup to come out from Zeus's though, does increase the range quite a bit, and the extra damage is also very useful. It's Silky Johnson missing a couple of last hits underneath that tower. All Saint Blood still maintaining equilibrium as best as he can, watching AK go into the jungle without the Iron Talent. Surprisingly enough, AK is not going for the jungling build, and one could even say he's wasting a little bit of his time. He throws out one more stun, and that's going to be all he needs for now. Whoa. Puck looks like he went for the rune. We're not really respecting the burst damage of the Zeus, and now he's 2 levels behind. He didn't even get the rune. I mean, Zeus got that, didn't he? No, Puck got the rune. Okay. So, this is where you've got to think to yourself, I need another rotation, guys. And that's what they might be going for over here, Bad Boy, but he's going from the wrong side. They've got an Observer Ward, and without a smoke, this Observer Ward will be up, and they will be able to scout out the Shadow Demon's proximity. And Johnson, he backs himself off, and Observer Ward is dropped by the Shadow Demon, but that should be dewarded pretty soon at the rate that these things are going. Seeing it actually, Batrider in the meanwhile, he's farming up a camp, getting closer towards that level 6 mark. But, you know, with this Observer Ward down over here, being planted underneath the Vision, Mirana needs to seriously stop taking her carries farms. The Puck's already very poor, and he's not going to have a Blink Dagger in time to actually be that effective. Johnson, on the other hand, he's got his Arcanes already up, another 500 gold on top. So he's very obviously sitting at a more than just an experience lead. He's actually sitting even slightly ahead in farm from the Puck because of those few kills to his name. Hero on the Batrider, still just looking to see if he can get that level 6 up, if he can go for the drums early on if he wants to, or does he want to go straight for the Blink Dagger? Does seem like he'll need the Blink Dagger. Morphling though, oh no, Morphling, don't go for the Lincoln Sphere. He's going for the Lincolns. This is not a good build. This is not what you should be going for in a Relax, he's gonna get up the stomp. It's on the 2 proxy. I mean, Prayam will take a fall, and they tried to go for the deny, and they gave up an extra hero and didn't even get it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Juggernaut getting that last hit, but right now I'm still saying Saint Blood. If he's going for a Lincoln Sphere, he's not going to have it in time. He doesn't have very impressive farm. 8 minutes in, sitting at 37 last hits. That's underneath 5 last hits a minute. And Ghost might be able to close the distance out onto this Bat Rider, but with the Wind Glaze he will watch as the Bat flies himself away to the depths of hell.
I will not.
Reddick, Illusion Rune, 1300 gold, is getting closer to the blink, but still doesn't seem like he's close towards Silky. Silky, who is still level 8.5 almost. And Puck just sitting a little bit above level 7. They're at incomparable levels of experience, they're at incomparable levels of effectability. Or effectiveness, if you want me to use actually correct English. In the meanwhile, Relax. He wants to make a rotation down onto that Morphling. He's got that 1 point into the natural order aura. He wants to introduce Morphling to it. And with that 1 point, Morphling should go down into the negative armor category. Ooh, there's a glimpse back. Bad boy disrupts himself on the high ground. Kinetic field once again being a little bit too late. This disruptor doesn't really seem to have his timings right, but AK, he's going in, he should be connected. Oh, an arrow will connect onto him after the soul catcher comes through, but there's already backup coming in the form of the disruptor. Rydick, he gets himself in, he needs to get out that Green Coil as soon as possible. Professor Claus will be the only one who's actually caught out by that. The Zeus has already used his ultimate, the Bat Rider lasso comes through, there will be a static storm. No, there won't be, he's only level 4, it's a double kill for Johnson though. He got the Mirana on the back line. Zeus is able to get that kill up for himself, and Reddick. Oh, Reddick, he's got 1900 gold and he's close to that blink tag, and that's really the big deal from that team fight. Trading 2 for 2 is very good despite their Mirana being this farmed, who's actually almost level 6. That's comparable towards his own offlaner who just from that team fight did hit level 7.5, but bottom lane, Saint's Blood gonna have some action onto himself. Relax could maybe go for a stomp to force out a waveform, force out some mana to be used. But doesn't look like the Morphling is in a situation where he needs to worry too much. Saint Hero will be bottled up by the puck, and that bottle will be cancelled by the Arc Lightning bouncing to and fro. Bot lane, they're still considering to make it go onto Saint. They're gonna go for the stomp, will not connect. They force out the waveform, they'll be happy with that. Morphling put out of his comfort zone somewhat. The Observer Ward will be scouted out by the Radiant side. They will go for the D Ward, but there's already a Disruptor coming through. Disruptor though very low in terms of experience. He needs to buy that Tome of Knowledge if he hasn't done so already. Okay, it does seem like he did get it earlier on. They get the glimpse out, they've got the amplified damage. The Mirana ultimate will not do too much. The disruption dodges out the Zeus ultimate actually, and with the glimpse coming back, he will go down regardless to the Juggernaut spin. The arrow connects onto Relax, so it's a 3-man Dream Coil coming through. Silky should be able to get this kill. He gets a Thunderbolt out. One more Arc Lightning does the trick. It's a boom! Omni Slash from Ghost. Gets a quick kill on to... Well, I mean, can't really say too much, but Prey, nah. This is what I'm talking about. The Morphling isn't able to do all too much. Johnson picks him apart. Wait, what? Was he morphing agility? He was morphing agility. Huh. That's a mistake. I think he might have just been trying to cancel out his strength morph and accidentally ended up morphing agility, I guess. Doesn't really make too much sense to me. Not one bit actually, but still, does look like T2W Troll2Win. They're in a situation where... Oh god, what did I press? Oops. That's not what I wanted to see. My mistake, my mistake. I always seem to have some bad luck with the drafting overlays. Saint Blood though, still on the Morphling. Just farming away, getting those creeps as fast as possible, but mid lane there will be a TP coming through from the Mirana. She's gonna still try to do what she can. Prey M will throw up the arrow and hope that it connects onto Johnson, but so far they're making a rotation onto the top lane where Reddick is actually going down. Now he draws towards the sidelines, but because the amplified damage is already there, they do have the vision to finish him off, and Zeus is the one to keep... Ooh, there's an arrow to Ghost. Could they go in on this? There's a glimpse back available, but they won't use it just quite yet. The Elder Titan Stomp gonna come through, will connect only on the Bat Rider. The Zeus on the low ground will be able to get this kill. There's a glimpse back, there's a stun from the Slardar, and one more right click should do the trick, and Juggernaut does indeed finish him off. Mirana trying to get out some damage from the low ground, but not really in range of the Starfall. Not at all. And again, I just go back to this Smurfling who's now actually going for a Dragon Lance. He can't decide what he wanted to go for, so he's going for Dragon Lance after getting the Perseverance first. He's got 70 lost hits, but honestly he's wasting half of them. More than half maybe. This Perseverance is not helping him if he goes for the Dragon Lance, and if he goes for the Dragon Lance, his Lincoln's Dream will never be achieved. I will say this right now, that he needs to dedicate himself towards one route. Is it the fighting route or is it the split pushing route? Because if it's a split pushing, you might as well go for the Lincolns. You've already started it. It's already good mana regeneration, and some extra stats will not really go Ori. You need the extra stats. You can do something with the Lincolns, even if it's fairly ineffective against the Arc Lightning of Johnson. At least you can block out a glimpse or something on those lines. But Blood, he is indecisive. He will finish off the Dragon Lance. Yeah, he will finish off the Dragon Lance over there. Johnson cops an arrow to the face. They're going in. It's a dream call. It's only onto one. He face shifts outside. But no, he's waited too long to jaunt away. It's a double for Johnson. And Elder Titan finishes off Prey M with his Earth Splitter. Johnson with his ultimate taking a little bit too long to kill, and Puck not jaunting away in time, getting overly greedy. Does mean Johnson actually has the gold he needs to almost finish up his Bloodstone. If they get this tier 1 tower, then this Bloodstone is complete on the Zeus. And still Blood can't fight. He's calling out the courier to himself. He's calling out that Dragon Lance. He needs to split push. He needs to take this top lane tier 1. He needs to take the bottom lane tier 1. Try to just get out some extra gold out for his team while they're still fighting up without him. They're doing the right job going for these pickoffs, but it does seem like Troll2Win are just always in a better position now. Batrider still no Blink Dagger, 1700 on him. They don't have a Dream Coil either for another 18 seconds. Reddick. Link is ready, but Dream Coil is not. That was the Blink showcase in the previous team fight actually. While Saint Blood, he's still farming away on that bot lane before backing himself on into the trees. I have a feeling they actually want to fight this, which would be an absolutely disastrous if they do. Please, Morphling, just go to that top lane. Please. Just do it for me. Do it for me. Juggernaut is going for that Manta style. Or maybe a Skadi. Probably a Manta, but could be a Skadi as well. I think a Skadi's better. But the Manta does give him a way of actually getting out of the waning rift of the Puck. The silence. Prayam, level 8 almost. Bad Boy could go for this rune. They don't have any vision from the dire side over here actually. But they do know exactly what is going on. They know that there's a smoke up, and Mr. AK should be backing himself off right now. But it's a blink forward. Reddick, he gets a Dream Call. It's only onto one. The Stomp will connect. It's onto Bad Boy. The Elder Titan, the Earth Splitter will have only onto the Morphling. Saint Hero takes a fall for now. Mr. AK is getting low. There will be the Purge to finish him off. The Adaptive Strike will do the additional damage that they needed. The Zeus ultimate going through as well. Shadow Demon will get away with his life for now. There's not going to be too much pursuit. The Elder Titan the Elder Titan Stomp will not be able to connect. But now it's going to be the Omni Slash going through. Prey tries to leap over the trees but will not be successful. It's only level 1 leap and he won't be able to back himself off. The kinetic field does not catch out Prey, but Morphling will be caught out in it. He waveforms down. The Puck has the orb. He's going to jaunt over towards the sideline. Can Silky interrupt this? Can Silky cut him off? And can Silky cut his head off? Doesn't look like it. Saint Blood though, please, for the love of all that is sacred, TP over towards that top lane. You can't fight this without your Dream Coil. You can't fight this without your Mirana. And you have given them vision. It's a 2-man stomp. They're going to be able to bring both of you down. Disruptor does have a glimpse. Will not use it. There's a lasso onto Ghost, but there's a glimpse back onto the Batrider. Blood goes down to one more bolt from Silky Johnson. It's a monster kill. Soon to be a maybe even a godlike spree. Doesn't need it though. The arrow will connect. Blink forward from the Slardar. AK gets a stun. Prayam should take a fall too. He doesn't have the leap. And Morphling, why are you not TPing away? Why are you trying to fight 4 versus 5 repeatedly without your strongest teamfight ultimate? This is... They're just going in one by one to die, and that's what it seems like from the side of Eternalsobers. Troll2Win just seems to have their number. They're outmaneuvering them at every possible position. And right now their lineup can go for Roshan as well. They've got the amplified damage to speed that up. The minus armor is absolutely necessary to take it down. Without that, they wouldn't really have too much damage onto it. The physical damage only really coming out of the Juggernaut, but I just feel like, what can I say? Okay, the arrow connects onto relax, but if they go in on this, there's a lot of oh no, there's so much they can actually go for this. Saint Hero will go down. There's a stun from AK. The Earth Splitter will connect onto Prey, but he leaps himself away, and Prey will be able to get himself out safely. But the Zeus, he's got 18 Bloodstone charges, and what looks to be the making of the Yule Scepter, maybe a Force Staff, because he hasn't gone for the Windlace yet. Okay, will be the Force Staff. Okay, blink forward, AK, he's found blood, but blood will not be spilled. Blood, why are you going forward? There is no Batrider, they can re-engage, they've got a glimpse. Where is the glimpse? Where is the Disruptor? He's just out of range. The amplified damage should give them the vision they need to go on him, though. They've got the Static Storm as well. They can go for this. If Disruptor just goes a little bit further ahead, Reddick has got the Invis Rune, but it will be scouted out by the Zeus. He goes in. It's only a Dream Coil onto one. Ghost dodges it. He spins up. He's going to go forward. AK's going to crush on 3. Bad Boy's going to go down. That's a Zeus to finish him off with a Thunderbolt of War. I mean, the Thunder God's Wrath comes out. 2 Saint Blood goes down to the Omni Slash. You can't morph fast enough underneath the amplified damage and the natural order aura. Blink forward, stun from AK, gets Mirana, he'll trade with his own life, but that's one kill for 3.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And Roshan will not be possible because they got the Slardar, but they could maybe go for this tier 3 over here, and I'm not sure how that made it. How did that happen? How did it make its way up onto this cliff over here? Well, that's a mystery for another day, I guess. Maybe the Batrider lassoed him there. But I've got to say, Eternalsobers, this Morphling does not look like he knows what to do against this sort of lineup that's built to counter him out. Level 2 in Adaptive Strike, still no points in the Replicate either. He isn't as slippery as you'd expect a Morphling to be. And the Adaptive Strike really isn't doing that much damage to warrant going for it. The only kill it's really managed to secure was on the Slardar down over here near the tier 1 tower, where the Shadow Demon Purge was what finished him off. Bad Boy, that was one of his only 2 kills this entire game. He's going to be caught out right now, though. They can maybe even look to make a go on this. There is no Slardar, so not going to be able to do so for now. Batrider intimidating them away with the Firefly, but with the Firefly being used up already, Slardar will have his blink cancelled, but can look to make a go over here. Reddick as well, looking to find an opening for that Dream Coil, and if he's able to do so, if they're able to get a quick pick off, maybe the Zeus, because the Juggernaut, who has his completed Manta style and his completed Diffusal Blade, is a little bit too damaging, is a little bit too tanky. There's a smoke from the back line. They're looking to go into the Roche pit, I guess. Yes, they're going for the Roshan. So Roshan will go down to them as well. There's no vision from the Radiant side. They have no idea this is happening. The top lane is actually pushing in from the Dire as well. So that does mean that Eternalsobers will not have any way of knowing that this is going on. They don't have any good ways of scouting it out as well. But I feel as if they tried to fight over here, that's where they actually just take a fall. Dire using a scan, making sure they know where the Radiant are, making sure they're not going for a Roshan fight right now, as the Roshan does get fairly low. It will be picked up by what I assume to be will be Ghost, who with that Aegis will be practically untouchable. They're already finding it hard to bring him down. He's only got 1 death, and that was early on over here in the tree line. After that has not died a single time, so perhaps giving the Aegis to the Slardar would be a better choice, giving the Aegis to the Zeus, but of course they can't really provide the same amount of pressure onto the high ground that a Ghost can on the Juggernaut. As being able to spin himself up anytime he's under any danger on the high ground, and respawning with the Aegis more likely than not will have his spin off of cooldown. It's only a 18 second cooldown after all, and that does mean that the Radiant side are going to find themselves in a bit of a fix once they go for this tier 3 push. Ghost using the spin to quickly farm up the bottom lane, push that out, and maybe they go for the bot lane tier 3, but tier 2 has been pinged out for the defense. But Slardar says, you know what, let's just go for that. Let's just go Silky Johnson. Come on, hurry up. We don't have all day for you. But still, Hero needs to get a Blink Dagger initiation onto the Zeus. Onto the Slardar was probably not the best of options. The Zeus would be able to force stop himself away as well, so it just seems like it's a very hard initiation for them to get. The arrow coming through, Johnson just making sure that there aren't any Mirana ultis. The Radiant side, they're smoking up, but they don't really have too great a positioning. Redick is in position to go for a coil. They don't have any vision on the high ground. The Radiant side, they're just throwing out arrows for now. The Morphling does finally have his replicate up, but Puck being scattered out and the smoke being revealed on a couple of them. AK is in the tree line, he is the one who did that, but right now it does seem like Radiant are having a successful defense. They get the arrow, but they go in on this. No, this could be a disaster. The glimpse back comes through. There's an Omni Slash as well from the Juggernaut. No, he's just going in on to the Radiant side. It's a 4-man Dream Coil. He might bring down the Aegis, but Redick, he doesn't have his phase shift. He does, but he will not be able to use it. Goes down to the Zeus. Back lines. AK might take a fall, but even he's got a 4-staff. He's getting himself away. Professor Chaos gets out the kinetic field. There's an amplified damage as well. The blink forward stun onto the glimpse Morphling, and they don't have buyback on anyone but the Morphling and the Shadow Demon. That's a tier 2 that will fall, and the tier 3 that'll probably be very soon after. Ghost, his Aegis didn't go down. Puck had a hero's effort, and getting the 4-man coil over there is no mean feat, but now blink forward, Saint here will take a fall. One more glimpse back, and Zeus, no AK actually, the one to finish him off. Ghost avoids the arrow, and it does look like the clock is ticking, and Troll2Win, this is their game to take, and this is their game to lose practically. 4-star forward, the blink was cancelled out by the Shadow Poison stacks on the Stardar. There's a blink forward from the Puck, but the glimpse will be there to come through, but it's onto the other side. He didn't wait long enough. Silky Johnson gets an arrow to the face, but the magic ward, the healing ward on the back lines will be able to heal them back up to full, and Ghost still has his Aegis as well. Blink forward from AK. They're going to be able to get a coil onto Johnson, but Johnson won't take a fall. They just don't have the initiation onto him. The Batrider is still dead. Now Prey M will be going down when the Batrider is coming back. They're just fighting 4 versus 5 constantly, and now Blood is caught out. There's a glimpse to come through. There's a stun as well. Blood will take a fall. Johnson is godlike. And the Puck is finally able to get a quick return. GG is called. Blood realizes that all they're able to take is the Aegis in the end. The Slardar practically being a commodity to be thrown away from the side of Troll2Win. And what can you even say about that game? It just seemed like it was a complete outdraft. The Morphling, even with the outdraft, I've got to say the Morphling did not really seem to know what he needed to do in that situation. Didn't really seem like he was in the zone, so to speak. He didn't really go for the correct item choices. He didn't go for the correct decisions in his farming pattern. And if I had to put it down to it, it does come down to the Morphling to a large extent. However, the Mirana Shadow Demon not being that effective either, not really helping their Batrider get an early on Blink Dagger, not being able to help their Puck, negate the early on level advantage. They got one good gank out, but beyond that, it was absolutely nothing. And Mirana, with their good early game start, doesn't really have anything to show for it at the end of the game. I mean, you're 1 in 10, you have the same goal per minute as your Shadow Demon. That's not really the situation where you want to be in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has, of course, been Tea Time, casting the ESL India Premiership. You can catch more of me over on Twitch and Twitter.com/ESL_Tea Time. I am, of course, the ESL Pro League official in the Hindi/Urdu caster as well. If you want to check me out, go over to my media, go over towards my channel. Go ahead, show me some love. In the meanwhile, be sure to stay tuned. The ESL India Premiership will be right back very, very soon.